I'm very excited to so tell me like your jump start, because this is, you say it's a heartbreak. But I think all of us, when we find what really matters to us, it begins with a heartbreak. So I'm really glad that you mentioned the beginning of it is because you were like, devastated. Like, I don't believe we're actually doing that. And also being very not conscious about it, very loose. We still have a lot to learn, right? But it's like, I think that knowledge that you just gave us is like an insight. It's like, oh, that's why single-use plastic doesn't seem to be such a great idea. But what could we do about it?
Right. Yeah, and that's a great, let me see if I can pull up some pictures to show you what I did about it. So after that, after I watched that documentary and after I experienced my heartbreak, I wanted to see how much control could I take over my own life. I didn't want to go out and change big companies. I didn't want to change laws, nothing like that yet. I had to start with me. So I challenged myself to go for 1 whole month and create no more waste than can fit in this little bag. So that means bringing my bottle with me everywhere, bringing a reusable cup like this one right here.
Yes.
And bringing my own bag. It means when I go to a restaurant, I say, I don't need a napkin, please, no receipt. It means when I buy groceries, I bring my own cloth bag so that I don't get a plastic bag for my lettuce. It means if I want beans, I go and I buy beans in bulk and rice in bulk. It means if I go out and buy a burrito.
You're not using canned beans or right. So that's
any moment.
3 less bags or 3 less cans when you buy in bulk.
Right. And I tried it for a month. And so that's the first picture. And then my biggest question was, how do I start? Because everywhere you go, you get a cup. Everywhere you go, you get these takeout containers. Everywhere you go, you get these bags. And this was a picture from my refrigerator when I first started. When I started trying to create this new habit, you can see I still use plastic bottles. I was just gung-ho on documentaries and I was watching everything and trying to be as healthy as I could, but I wasn't perfect. I still had plastic bottles. I still had plastic bags around my carrots, but I was trying.
Yeah.
And so here's what I would do is I would bring this container with me everywhere. And I would bring this spoon with me everywhere.
Okay.
And I would always just say, I don't need a container. I have my own, all these sort of things. And I felt like Leonardo DiCaprio because I just had like all my stuff with me all the time. I felt like I was an adventurer somewhere out in the wild,
Right, because you needed a bag of gear. Yeah.
And this was my gear. This is my water bottle, my straw, my spoon, my container, my bag, and my handkerchief.
Got it.
And 1 month later, this was the result.
Oh.
Some wrappers that I couldn't avoid.
Yeah.
Sometimes I was super hungry and I needed to eat a Cliff Bar.
Yeah.
Some receipts, some tea bags that I couldn't avoid. And here's the whole picture. 1 month later, that's all the waste I created.
And the paper, I'm very curious about the can.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't remember where that came from.
Was it one of those moments where somebody's like, here, have a can of soda? You could go like, no.
Yes. Yes, basically, yes. And this plate right here, I remember being at a restaurant and I said, I ordered a burrito and I was like, hey, would you mind? I have my bowl here. Would you mind giving me the burrito just in my bowl? I don't want the box. Right. All they heard was, I don't want the box. So then they gave me 2 plates.
Okay, got it.
And it's and it's an experiment, right? That's it. So from there, now I run this company And I designed a reusable bag that can be worn anywhere. You can wrap it around your wrist. You can unwrap it, and then you can pull out a shopping bag. And you have that with you everywhere.
Mhm.
There you go. So that's been my journey thus far.
That is amazing.